Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings with good health and protection to one and all. Good morning to the President of the Philippine Association of Research Institution, Dr. Hinaro Hapos, the panels, my fellow presenters, once again, good morning. I am Shali M. Palco, presently the school principal of East Prosperidad Central Elementary School, Prosperidad District 1, Division of Agusan del Sur. I studied my master's degree at Bukidnon State University, Malaybalay City, Bukidnon, Philippines. The title of my study is all about School Management Practices and Competencies of Teachers in Charge in the Division of Agusan del Sur, Philippines. School management is one of the essential functions of school administrators. It is concerned not only with the operation and maintenance of the school, but also with the direction of the activities of people working within the school. As such, the school administrator must practice their managerial skills in improving the instructional process, developing the school learning environment and staff, and managing linkages with the community. To carry out their tasks, they must be skillful in performing their function by practicing these to improve the school system as a whole. The school management practices and competencies of the teachers in charge are to be assessed, especially they are performing a dual functions as a school administrators and classroom teachers. Their role is multifarious and it is considered an intricate and complex undertaking. The fact they are not designated as head teachers or principals, it is expected that they could encounter problems in managing the school affairs and resources. The objectives of this study are to know the frequency of practice of the teachers in charge in school management as rated by the teachers in terms of instructional management, monitoring and evaluation, professional development of teachers, physical plant and facilities development, and establishing linkages. Number 2, to determine the competency level of the teacher in charge in managing the school as rated by their teachers. Number 3, to determine the relationship between the frequency of practice and level of competencies of teachers in charge in school management as perceived by the teachers. Management practices of teachers in charge involve in instructional management, monitoring and evaluation, professional development, physical plant and facilities, establishing linkages. The frequency of practice, always, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. For management competency of teacher in charge, again, this is school or instructional management, monitoring and evaluation, professional development, physical plant and facilities development, and the last one is establishing linkages. The frequency of practice are very highly competent, moderately competent, slightly competent, and not competent. The study is anchored in the concept of Evangelista 2005 that any teachers designated as teachers in charge are accountable for the efficient and effective administration and management of the school. Aside from their classroom works, they are entrusted to manage the school and perform their function that concerns with the school development, teachers and pupils' welfare, and development linkages with the government and non-government organizations. They are entrusted with position on the expectations that they are equipped with the knowledge and skills in managing the school. The study used a descriptive correlation design since it determined practices and level of competencies of teachers in charge in school management and the extent of relationship between the management practices and competencies. The study was conducted in the Division of Agusan del Sur. It is composed of 19 districts. The subject of the study were the teacher in charge of the entire Division of Agusan del Sur. There is a total of 173 teacher in charge assigned in the schools located in barangays. The respondent of the study were the teachers under the teachers in charge, and a total of 623 teachers under the teacher in charge in the entire division, but only 244 were involved as respondents. In determining the sample size of teachers under each teacher in charge, the Slovene formula was employed at 0.05 error tolerance. Out of the total number of 623 teachers, only 244 were taken. Simple random sampling was used to get the required number of teacher respondents from every district. The study used a questionnaire pattern by Evangelista of 2005 on the management practices of the school administrators that focused on the school management aspects. Response of each item were scored using 5-point scale. This study utilized the following statistical treatment: standard deviation and person R. Table number 7 is the summary of the school management practices of teachers in charge as rated by their teachers. It can be seen that establishing linkages ranks first, and managing physical plant and facilities ranks second. The three others were sometimes practiced, such as instructional management, monitoring and evaluation, and professional development or professional management. With this result, the school management practices depend upon how the school heads exercise their functions in administering. If they think of their position being designated only to handle the school, they limit their management responsibility to the level authorized by them. These are the probable causes that some teachers in charge sometimes practice the instructional aspects of the school management. However, in terms of linkages and managing the physical plant aspects, their management responsibility was not affected by their position. They often performed their function and responsibility in order to show their expertise and capability in school management, even though if they were only teacher in charge. Table number 13, summary of the level of competence of teachers in charge in school management practices as rated by the teacher. It is reflected that the teachers in charge were highly competent in management. It obtained a grand mean of 3.63, which is qualitatively means highly competent. The standard deviation of 0.72 shows that there is variation of scores. It is disclosed that the teachers in charge were highly competent in establishing linkages, followed by instructional management, then professional development of teachers, and in monitoring and evaluation. They were moderately competent in the development of physical plant and facilities. These findings indicate that the teachers in charge were concerned more on maintaining good public relations with the community. They have developed genuine interest and sustained stimulation in carrying out school programs. They were also found much capable and knowledgeable in instructional management, professional development, and in monitoring and evaluation, because these are what they want to develop in their work. They are working hard in order to be promoted in their work. Their competencies and capabilities are very much important in school management. In table number 14, which is the summary, is all about the relationship between the frequency of school management practices and level of competencies of the teacher in charge. It is illustrated that the frequency of school management practices is significantly related to the level of competencies of teachers in charge. The obtained correlation coefficient is 0.89, which indicates the existence of a direct and significant relationship. This means that there is a high relationship between the frequency of practice or practices of teachers and level of competencies of teachers in charge in instructional management, monitoring and evaluation, professional development of teachers, physical plant and facilities, development, and in establishing linkages. The null hypothesis, which states that there is no significant relationship between the frequency of practice of school management, practices of teachers in charge, and level of competencies, was rejected. These findings tells that teachers in charge were highly competent of their practices in school management. This is emphasized by DVEST 2002 that practices plus competence equals effectiveness in leadership and management. Based from this study, the following conclusion was drawn. The management practices of teachers in charge was generally often practiced, therefore, they are competent in their work on instructional management, monitoring and evaluation, professional development, physical plant and facilities development, and in establishing linkages. Number 2, the teachers rated the teachers in charge as highly competent in school management. Therefore, they have the knowledge and skills in instructional management, as well as on monitoring and evaluation, professional development, physical plant and facilities development, and in establishing linkages. Number 3, the frequency of practice and level of competencies of teachers in charge in school management are highly related. Based on the frequency of school management practices of teachers in charge, it is recommended that 1.1 instructional management could be strengthened, focusing on the following aspects: classroom observation, teaching strategies and techniques, provision of instructional materials, giving of appropriate assignment or homework. Number 1.2, monitoring and evaluation should always be conducted in the following: review of test items, conduct of formative and summative tests, checking and computing of grades, and conduct of alternative assessment. 1.3, professional development of teachers should be encouraged, especially in the conduct of demonstration teaching, use of computer and internet, and also attending seminars. Physical plant and facilities developed should be attended to, focusing on construction of concrete flagpole, pathways and water supply, classroom lighting and ventilation, construction of gates, junior fences, walks and pathways and hedges, social hall, basketball court, and athletic ground. 1.5, maintaining strong linkage with LGUs and NGOs. On the level of competency, that is number 2, 2.1, teacher in charge should develop more their competency in instructional management by providing and making of instructional materials and in stimulating teachers to conduct demonstration teaching. 2.2, they should develop more skills in monitoring and evaluation that focus on the conduct of alternative assessment. The skills in the use of computer and internet should be developed. 2.4, skills in the development of physical plant and facilities should be improved. 2.5, skills in establishing linkages should be strengthened. Number 3, frequency of practice and level of competency in school management should be matched and balanced to attain effectiveness in managing the school. The impact of this study. The study is significant to the educational system as a whole since it provides insights in school management and the areas of instructional improvement, monitoring and evaluation, professional development, school plant and facilities development, and establishing linkages. To the teachers in charge, the result of the study would provide data and information about the frequency of their practices and level of competencies in school management. This would serve as their reference on what particular areas in school management to do they need to improve and practice, and what skills are to be developed to make them competent in school management. Knowing their strengths and weaknesses in school management from the result of this study, it would encourage them to develop their effectiveness in doing the better job. The result may provide them the feedback on what areas are needing improvement in terms of school management when this will be discussed during the administrators' meeting. To the full-fledged administrators, result of this study can be used as reference for promotion as teacher in charge to head teachers or principals. It provides them feedbacks on the practices and competencies of teachers in charge in school management and a source guide giving them rating in the performance appraisal system. To the teachers, The result of the study may give the teachers vital information of the managerial competence and practices of their teachers in charge. By such knowledge, they may be able to make adjustment and assist their administrators in making amendments. Findings may provide better understanding of their higher authorities and improve organizational harmony, cooperation, and coordination. To the local government, the result of this investigation would provide the local government an insights of the operations and managerial practices of the school administrators. Good school-community relations may result if the school administrator will establish linkages to them. To the parents and community people, the findings may give the knowledge and information of the practices and characteristics of the administrators. That would be all. Thank you for listening, and once again, good morning.